Hello everybody, it's Cape Rugby TV, Wednesday night, and you know that we bring you the very best of what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Well, we've now come to the end of the SCORE Western Province Club Rugby tournament, but the Sevens continues. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. Big thanks to Hisense, that is of course on board with Cape Rugby TV as the official technical partner. SCORE Energy Drinks, well, you would have seen them score at just about every single jersey at the Sevens over the last couple of weeks, which of course ended now at Goodwood. Dulux at number 30 Coburg Road. You want all your paint supplies and your premises spec'd for you, then you need to get down to Dulux Maitland. You can see it behind me here at number 30 Coburg Road. And of course Colour Tone for all your paint tinting requirements, available at all leading hardware stores. Coming up tonight, we'll be taking a look at the games and interviews from the Dream Team Day, what we call the Dream Day. Dream Team A and B, and of course the Western Province, the two Western Province sides that were over there on the weekend, and of course St. George's, the overall Sevens tournament, who beat none other than False Bay in the finals. Talking about False Bay, let me introduce you to my panel this evening. Jono van der Walt, False Bay coach. Jono, welcome back to Cape Rugby TV.
Cheers, JP. It's been a while, but glad to be here.
We thought maybe you'd fall off the bus a little bit.
Sometimes work gets in the way of my rugby, eh?
It's not the other way around, where rugby gets in the way of work.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're going to chat with you. We haven't had a chance to chat with you, and apparently you were not allowed to bring the Gold Cup trophy with tonight.
No, it's worth a bit of loot there, and they don't just allow us false bergs to walk around with it. Yeah?
They don't allow the false bergs to walk around, but we've had the Curry Cup on the show. You know, in fact, I think
it was probably a replica, but yes.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing. only replica we've got is Morgan Newman. Morgan Newman is a replica. He's heading for his replica days. Nice to have you back, Morgs.
Yeah, good to be here, Jeps. Thanks. Yeah, if John had brought the cup, I think I would have taken it home with me and left it at Amis, and so we can something to work towards.
You've both been on this pre-post league tour season jewels now. Amis went away to, where'd you go? Malaysia?
No, so we didn't go as Amis. We actually went to the Western Province Academy side, invitational academy side. So a lot of young guys, and then I was the old bully in the side that happened to crack the nut to go. So yeah, it was a good trip. Thanks. Yeah, it's good to be back there. The weather on that side, Japes, is next level.
And this was in Bali.
No, Malaysia.
In
Kuala Lumpur. So
Kuala Lumpur. Yeah. You guys haven't done that though yet, John, but you're probably planning on something. But you've had your awards recently, and a lot of the clubs are having their awards now this time of year. We're going to talk to you about that during the course of the show. We also talked about the Gold Cup. I'm sure you guys have got a lot of stories to tell about that.
Oh, there's a couple we can go through. There's Gold Cup, there's awards dinners, there's Sevens now. That's hopefully come to an end so that some of the guys can rest and relax. I'm sure some guys have been going on for about 11 months. It's soon going to be a 13-month season, and guys are just going to keep on going on the loop and non-stop.
That's right. So I've got 4 words for you and for your players. All right, I had to work it out. For those of you that say the Sevens and rugby must stop.
No rest for the wicked. That's 5.
Suck it up, princess. Play rugby 12 months of the year. There's no stopping. All right, this thing of a half a club, you guys have got to get this out of your head. The club can't operate for only 6 months of the year. Look at John, he's like, hell no, I've had enough. Look, it's been a long season for you guys, as I think for the university as well. But anyway, the folks are certainly having a jolt out of the Sevens, and this last 7 weeks has been evidence of that. 1,000 players taking to the field with 44 different teams. I think that was part of the idea, is a bit of social cohesion amongst the clubs. We're going to show you some of the teams that played there. In fact, we might as well get going with the first game that we managed to film. We know the Fangs loved the action. Unfortunately, the Blitzbokke were not able to make it. Injuries and preparation and so forth. But it certainly didn't put a dampener on the spirit of the boys who were playing and who were selected to play in the Dream Teams. Let's catch up now with the first match. Dream Team A against Dream Team B. And after that, we'll speak to Carl Isaacs, who's, of course, one of the players in the Dreams Team squad and the captain of Vineyards in the Sevens side. But let's first check the highlights. Dream Team A and Dream Team B. right, there was of course the first match there. Dream Team A and Dream Team B. Dream Team A, not that one would really say that you could call it a Dream Team A. I don't think they really selected the players to be A and B, the best out of the squads there. But nevertheless, it was a win for Dream Team A, 26-0. But just nice to see some of those players in action. In fact, if you go to the Cape Rugby TV app, you'll be able to see the stats on a lot of the players and the players that were playing in those Dream Team squads. So that's quite nice. We'll mention some of the names of the players a little bit later. Morgie, let's take it to you now for a sec. You've got a fairly good idea of the impact of extra social rugby. We played the Cape Rugby TV squad, 7-side, a few times. And all of these Dream Team guys, today, or at least on Saturday, was their first time together. Mixed clubs, more than 22 different clubs, getting a chance to play together. So a little bit like your Cape Rugby All-Stars side.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is, you know, we preach it year in and year out, but I mean, the core skills of sevens is what makes you a good rugby player as a whole, you know, passing left and right, you know, skills at the breakdown, specifically, you know, cleaning out, you know, just a whole wide variety of skills. So if I was a coach, coaching any team in rugby in the Western Cape, I'd be down at this sevens tournament, keeping an eye on 1 or 2 players, because you can really see whether you see all-round ability of a player. You know, you get exposed defensively if you're not sound, and you can get exposed on attack too. So, and it looked to me like, I mean, if I look at the skills that were displayed there, it's Dream Team A, Dream Team B sounds about right. You know, it's probably the most skillful rugby players in rugby in the Western Cape. Probably played in these 2 teams.
I tell you, do you have any idea how many phone calls I get for videos of players? Have I got a video or highlights reel of this player who played in that match? Of course, we don't archive and that. And I'm beginning to think that we need to open the Cape Rugby TV agency. And then the likes of Jono can buy his players from Cape Rugby TV, and we'll take commissions on it. You don't buy players though, Jono?
No, maybe we should do the bidding process. Yes, we can all bid on them and maybe draft them and see how it goes from there, JP. Because, I mean, obviously it's a real thing. Everyone seems to do it these days, apparently.
I agree.
Apparently. Yeah. I don't think that there's... Every club though says, no, it doesn't happen.
Oh. Nah, surely it's common knowledge. I mean, all
right, so let's get back to the sevens here. Jono, in your experience, I mean, what we do seem to see here is it's a game or 2 before the guys start to gel. But obviously, the teams that have had a bit of experience together, they got the upper hand. But certainly in the Dream Team, with the Dream Teams here, once the first game was out the way, they started connecting with each other, had a feeling for, nothing like Morg says, the core skills are there, and then you just got to find each other.
Yeah. Look, I also think these guys have been playing in the tournament for the build-up into the 4 or 5 weeks before that. So their fitness and their 7 skills and playing in the game would have been fine. I just think maybe, you know, they only had 1 practice before they played in this tournament. So like you say, after the first game, they might have gotten a little bit of rust off there. And I'm sure as the tournament progressed, the guys kind of got into their groove a little bit.
From a player's perspective, Morgs, what is it that the guys would have enjoyed the most? Is it the fact that they play with each other for the first time? Is it the fact that they're just having a jaw playing rugby? Or is it the fact that maybe they love the fact that they've got recognized for the skills that they've been displaying for the past 5 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, look, for me, you know, when you play in a sort of a, for lack of a better word, barbarian style environment, you know, where there's a bunch of guys, I think what you enjoy the most is just going out there and expressing yourself. You know, there's no structure. We haven't had time to sit and say we're going to hit the ball up here and we're going to come around the corner and do this and do that. Yeah. So it's literally just go out there and express your skill that you possess.
Is that what you guys did in Malaysia? Because obviously not all of you played for one team. 100%. You played a mixed team.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the best thing about playing in these, call it rebel teams, whatever you want to call them. But you know, it's the nicest thing. It's just going, a bunch of guys going together. There's no pressure on you to, you know, stick to structures and perform in a certain way. John will probably be able to say better than I will, but as a player, it's just a case of go out there, express yourself, you know, run off a guy, tell him to make magic, and you come off his shoulder, because there's no game plan.
Is there any risk in that, John, that you give a guy too much freedom?
No, well, not in sevens. In sevens, you must let the boys play. I just think, just to go back to that, I think it's twofold. I think one, it's great that the player did well in the tournament and he got selected to be a part of this Dream Team A, B, Province A and B. One, the Province selectors in terms of sevens are having a look. There's Blitzbokker guys running around having a look as well. And then there's Super League A, B, C, Div 1, 2, 3 coaches around as well having a look. So I think it's an opportunity for a player to play. And these guys... might be ending off their seasons, but once you put them on a field into a sevens environment, again, the guys just want to get over that line and score tries.
Yeah. Would you as a coach, would you be looking at some of those sevens guys for 15-man rugby?
Of course, there's some good wing centers, scrum halves, fly-offs, and there's the odd good flanker that's running around there as well. So if you want a mobile flanker with good skills.
No locks, no props.
There probably aren't any locks.
Very seldom, very seldom.
Very seldom. Morgs, you've played in the front row though.
I mean, look. Sevens it's really a free for all once the ball. Scrum is 2 seconds and then the ball's out, and then you can, So guys, I'm sure guys do have their positions, but I think it's very seldom. You lean towards tens, you maybe find locks and 1 or 2 hookers and props maybe floating around. With skills.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think you're going to get, 6 to 15.
Yeah. Right, folks, we're going to take an ad break, and when we come back from the break, we'll take a look at the Dream Team A side against the Western Province A side. And then we'll have a chat with Dale van Skalkwyk. Also in the Dream Team A side is, of course, a Tygerberg player. Just incidentally, some of the names in the Dream Team, I'm just pulling this off the Cape Rugby TV app now. Abu Bakr Jappi, Bradley Robertson, Cameron Antoni from Peniel Villages, first 2 guys from Collegians and St. George's, Dale van Skalkwyk, as we mentioned, from Tygerberg, Ethan Koenraad from Belhar, Fabian van der Vent. The van der Vent brothers are making a name for themselves at the moment. Fabian, both of them, of course, from Hands and Hearts. Justin Morgan from Franschhoek, Cornelia Mbete from Kales River, Kyle Isaacs, we saw him earlier on, from Vineyards, Lance Jurgens from Victorians, Nico Philander from, who was of course the tournament player, or player of the tournament, Nico Philander from Young Peoples. Then Peter Stale Swanepoel, you've seen him, that big guy with the hair from Vix. Runmark Stuart Smith, Jono, one of your boys, False Bay boy. Verno True and Clement Trout, of course, the coach from UWC. We'll speak to Clement a little bit later during the course of the show. And then, of course, the team manager was Rodney van der Berg from Franschhoek. Folks, you can find all those Dream Team names on the Cape Rugby TV app. We'll be back after the break. Folks, now it's been a couple of weeks. With me is Kyle Isaacs from Vineyards. Kyle, Dream Team stuff today, eh? Last couple of weeks, you guys been playing to make it into the Dream Team. How did it go?
It went very well. We lost our first 2 games, but we won our last 2. So it was very exciting to play in the team and meet the boys.
Now, how many? I mean, you guys played with quite a few clubs there. There's a paar nuwe boys daar so, né?
Ja, dit was lekker. Niemand het nog mekaar geken. Ons het 1 keer in 'n week geoefen. Ons het lekker gel en ons lekker gespeel. Ons het net geniet. Ja. Nou,
julle het nou die eerste keer by mekaar. Hier kom julle coach nou. How many coaches did you guys have, by the way?
Soos 3.
Clement Trout, of course, from UWC.
Ja, ons het soos 3 coaches gehad en dit was baie lekker. Hulle was baie die gees in die span was baie lekker.
Het julle kans gehad om te speel voor vandag?
Nee, glad nie.
Vandag die eerste keer?
Eerste keer.
En dan was julle paar ander clubs. Ek meen gewoonlik speel julle teen daai clubs. Nou speel julle saam.
Ja, nou speel ons saam en dit was baie lekker. Dit was fun dag. Dit gaan nie weer in die toekoms gaan net nie weer dieselfde span wees nie. So ons het net probeer die oomblik soos saamvat. Gaan
jy weer doen?
Ja, definitief.
Alright, Carlos, awesome daar.
Dankie.
Lekker bro.
Dankie.
All right, there you go, Kyle Isaacs chatting to us. Unfortunately, we didn't get the whole interview, but Kyle certainly looks like he's enjoying the TV opportunity. But Kyle, of course, nice to have you on the show, as well as, of course, many of the other guys. Kyle's currently, or at least was, the captain of the Vineyards 7 side, of course, from the Vineyards squad. Folks, let's catch up now with the Dream Team A up against the Western Province A side. And after that, we'll have a chat with Dale van Skalkwyk from Tygerberg. Oh, welcome back, everybody. We're just having so much fun here talking about sevens and club rugby and rugby. But it's a long way from over. For those of you that think the rugby season is over, the likes of Jono van der Walt, who's, of course, the head coach at False Bay, who puts his tail between his legs and says, that's it for the next 6 months. Jono, I'm sorry to tell you, but there's still lots of rugby going on.
Well, it is silly season at the moment, as coaches like to call it. The sevens is done, and we've probably got about 7 to 9 weeks before it's now off-season and then pre-season starts. But this is where players start making their moves.
Wouldn't your bar at False Bay make a lot more money if you played more rugby?
No, guys need a break. Yeah.
No, but not those guys.
How does it work, James? If you now, when are you no longer affiliated to the club?
When your league season ends.
Oh, really? So you can go train anywhere now?
When your league season ends, you're done, and then you can roam and be free, and then there'll be a cut-off.
A cut-off next year sometime.
Next year.
All right. Okay.
So from October,
Silly
November,
season
December,
window.
January,
Silly season window is very big.
Silly season's about 5-6 months long. Yeah?
So, Morgs, your gym membership, when does that end?
You can take a 6-month contract. You take a 3-month contract.
How do you normally do it?
I'm just a member all year
What
round.
about your squash membership? Do you have 6 months for squash, or do you just keep your squash membership?
Again, you can choose, Japes. So you take 6-month contract and then you move to a different gym if you don't like it.
I don't know which sports federations you guys belong to, but the ones that I belong to, once you remember, you remember.
Yeah, you're a member of the union, but you don't have to stay a member of the club.
So if you want to play squash in December, can you go play squash?
Yeah, if you want to, but you don't have, if you're playing for Western Province Cricket Club now, you can go play for a VOB tomorrow, surely.
Yeah. So
surely that must run out at some
Western
point.
Province squash doesn't say no. Courts are open.
I don't know.
And anyway, this is what the clubs are doing now. They're extending the season. They're doing a little bit more.
In order to keep players, or what?
No, in order to do what a clubhouse is supposed to do, and a clubhouse is supposed to stay open. Otherwise, you've got a property there that is standing empty, gathering dust. So you want the clubhouse to be constantly a place of, look, this is JP Nordeer's philosophy, all right?
Yeah, I'm
But
listening
you want the
carefully.
clubhouse to constantly be a place of refuge, a place of a go-to place for anybody in the neighborhood. Anybody in the neighborhood says, I want to go down to the clubhouse tonight, whether they want to go for a couple of drinks or they want to take their kids on a Saturday to go and play yoga. It doesn't matter. That's what the core existing reason is for a clubhouse. So this is why we're encouraging clubs now to create events. So you have your league, and we understand, Jono says, players must have a break, and that's understandable. But below those top level guys, there are maybe reserve league guys, maybe there's moms or dads with kids and tots. You need to keep the club active. Anyway, that's the JP Nordeer theory of community clubs. No comment?
So if you belong to Western Province Rugby, can you go to any club you want to go chill out?
No, well, yeah, well, I'm sure you can, but I think Jono, yeah, of course. I mean, if I might, be a member at Penil Villages and I want to pop in at Hammy's for a braai, nothing's stopping me. I don't know if I can do that at False Bay. I don't know, Jono, you guys open for a braai on a Saturday?
I'll stick my neck out there. I stand to be corrected, but if you play your last league game and you play some sevens, you finish your sevens. It's done now, November, December, Jan, Feb, March. You can go to any club you want to. You can go play there. If you've played one friendly for that club, which is in the month of March, and there's a past the cut-off date, then you cannot move to another club.
Yeah,
So
there's a
practice,
cut-off date,
Jan, Feb.
but you're still a
You
member.
can come in on a Monday, Tuesday, play touch, go somewhere else, have a CrossFit session, have a field session, decide, because we do have these players.
But you're still a member, though.
around.
You're still a member of.
You'll
let's
be
say
a
in your
member
case,
at your current club where you
you're a
are.
member at your current club.
Agreed, correct. Yeah.
Until
But-
you've been released. Yeah.
And you can play friendlies and you can do whatever you want until, I think they call it registration day. And if I recall correctly, it was, I think, sort of mid-March.
It'll be mid-March, correct.
Yeah. But once you play your first official game, after that period, then you're not allowed to move. And only then you can move if the club releases you. It's called a reversion form. They have to fill in a form.
Spot on, JP. You know your
Reversion
rules
form.
there.
Yeah. Listen, let's chat to Dale van Skalkwyk from Tygerberg. Folks, with me, Dale. What's going on here? What's happening?
It's just been a tough day at the office. Another one here at Kudud.
I love the cap, buddy.
Yeah, we got to stay covered, The sun is hitting us from all angles when we're on the field. So off the field, we need to be covered.
Okay, now of course you were part of the of the dream team today. Huh? How did that go?
It was tough. It was nice. We lost out to Western Province 1 and 2. But the rest of the games were fine, you know.
But you know how to play in a dream team. I mean, you've played in many teams where you get selected and then like you guys are quickly got to put it together.
Yeah, I think that's the worst part. And once you get used to it, you start meeting all these guys and you start enjoying them and you don't even know who they are. And then at the end of the
all of a
day,
sudden,
you're friends.
you find like after the first game it starts to kick in.
Yeah, the first one was tough and then the communication picked up and everybody, you know, break that barrier of I don't know you, I'm scared to talk to you. And then after that, free flowing.
Hey, we'll leave it at that, but
Yeah,
always like a pleasure talking to you. There we
Always,
go.
Effie.
Lekker
Cheers.
shot. Jonah van der Walt.
Yeah, what's up?
Coach?
Johnny, you're hosting the show.
Oh,
now.
no, our producers are a little bit slow tonight, but Donna, you were saying. Okay, don't worry, we're not going to put you on the spot there. We're just talking about club registrations. Anyway, to go back to the fact that the rugby hasn't stopped, this coming weekend, it's, what's it called? The Rebels? No? The Colby Sevens. Cheslin, Colby and the boys are hosting, playing at Aikendal. I think 16 teams, we'll go through those names a little bit later. I think we got the names. 16 teams from the Kraaifontein area, all playing in widespread clubs. 16 teams coming through to the Colby Sevens at Aikendal this coming weekend. And Cape Rugby TV will be there, and we'll go and film a little bit more Sevens there. And then the weekend after that, there's even more rugby. And then the weekend after that, there is even more rugby again. And in fact, if you think it ends there, already there are tournaments in preparation for January, February, and March. So I will get my wish that we will always have a rugby game to go to. That's part of the idea. Any more debates on this concept of making sure that there's always a playing field for kids who don't have the opportunity of senior rugby players? That we're going to keep those doors open for the kids, right?
Yeah, well, look, I think again to touch on your thing, we so at False Bay we have something on a Friday evening whereby we have what we call the False Bay Kids Academy, and kids come from all over the southern suburbs on a Friday evening, and our field is full of them. So again, another opportunity to keep your club open.
I like that. I like the way you're thinking, Jono. We are going to put you on the top of our list of folks who say rugby goes on 12 months of the year. Folks, we managed to catch up with the fourth game. There was the Dream Team up against St. George's. St. George's, of course, walked away as the tournament champions. They beat False Bay in the very last minute. Oh, in fact, I think they beat them in overtime, Jono.
Injury time.
In
correct.
injury time.
False Bay can't win everything, I guess.
False Bay can't win everything, Morgs.
I'm very happy St. George's won there. Sorry, John.
You can't be saying that you've got Jono van der Walt.
I'm sorry, but I mean, they can't win everything. I mean, really, you know what I mean?
Well, they have just about won everything except the Curry Cup and Super 15.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
do you call it now? And you haven't beaten France. Although I've got a strong feeling that you just might have been able to do that. St. George's up against Dream Team B. right, it was a win there for the Dream Team B over St George's, 19 points to 12. The very best of the players, from the stats at least, and the selectors playing in the Dream Teams A and B. We just had a discussion now about the Gees. In fact, we were talking about the Gees, and I must say I'm so impressed with the players. None of the players really, because we spoke about this not last week, the week before, and obviously it was the finals day, and we had to see who was going to make it into the finals and win the tournament. And a number of players were maybe not selected, and a number of teams didn't win. But there was not one team, maybe there was one team, but there was not one team that, other than the one team, that I thought had a bad case. Every player, every coach, every team that was there just loved being able to play. They just loved the fact that they were able to be there on the day. I mean, every time we interviewed the guys, what a lot of people don't see behind the screens is while there was a camera and a microphone speaking to a player, 10 of his buddies were standing next to him, making fun of him on camera. But that was the Gees. From Collegians to Peniel Villages, who am I thinking of? Collegians, the Villages boys, the Falsebad boys. These were all guys who had their whole squad behind them making fun of them. It was really, the vibe was fantastic.
Oh, look, again, JP, I think Sevens is fun, it's exciting, it's quick. You get the adrenaline pumping and going as well. And I think, again, you know, the guys actually put a lot of work into it. They spend Monday, Tuesday, Thursday going into it, and it means a lot to them, man.
But it wasn't so much about the win. The fact that they didn't maybe win the tournament, Morgs, I don't know. They didn't win it, but that wasn't enough to dampen their spirits and say, oh, I'm finished with this, I'm going home. They just loved the jaw.
Yeah, you know, that's what makes tournaments like these so exciting, is there are teams there for specific reasons. You know, there's some teams there that just want to win the tournament. They just want to win, and that, you know, win at all costs. Then you get teams like potentially False Bay, maybe to a large degree, even though they played in the final, they were probably there just to, the guys that want to play rugby, they're keen to play rugby. One or two of them maybe haven't played much throughout the season. You know, some of them are playing with their mates, you know, under 20 guys now playing with a mate who's in the second team or the third team, and they just want to draw together. And that's what the value of tournaments like this brings, is the fact that you get to play with guys you may never have played with. Even in this Dream Team A and B, I look at the variety of clubs that exist amongst that team. You know, there's so many guys in Super League A or Super League B and all these teams, guys that I would like to still play with, you know, in a rebel team somewhere along the line before I hang up my boots. Surely there's a guy at False Bay that, you know, like I would look at and I go, he looks like a good team guy. I'd love to be in a team with him. And Sevens provides that platform where you can go and play with a guy you would never ever or else get the opportunity to do, you know. And
Morgs, there are now a lot of people watching the show, and they're now going onto Twitter and on Facebook, and they are asking the question.
And you just taking a sip and chilling out on air. No one.
Yeah, Score. It's late night. It's Wednesday night, folks. If you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drink, stay close by. But there's a lot of people on Twitter and Facebook right now, Morgs, actually asking if you are ever going to hang up your boots now that you brought it up.
I'm slowly considering it, Jeff. So when I look at guys like Ridar, when he tells me now Ridar's, I saw Ridar put something on Facebook a while back about close to hanging up his boots, and I think I played with that guy. And it starts to hit home very, very sad.
Morgan's young.
Rubbish. There's no such thing.
Morgan's is young. He's just been around a long time.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. There's one person that that I can, you know, I'm only 32. A lot of these guys hang up at 36, so I've got some time.
Don't worry.
I might play like an old buddy, but
folks, we're going to take an ad break. But before we go to the ad break, Team A against Western Province B. Western Province B side, of course, walked away with the win here, 17 points to 7. As I said earlier on, if you want to win yourself that case of Score energy drinks, keep your mobile phones handy. I'm going to tell you how to win that in a second or so. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. Right, it's Cape Rugby TV, and we are talking about the very best of Western Province Club Rugby. You want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, you need to stick around. But one of the nice, fun things that we also have, and it's on the Cape Rugby TV app as of tomorrow, is the Spot the Ball competition. Now, that's going to come up in a second or so. I'm going to show Morgie and Jono quickly the Spot the Ball. In fact, if you are on watching the show right now, this is going to be a big competition, all right? So you need to download the Cape Rugby TV mobile app to go and enter the competition. It starts tomorrow, and one lucky winner that is able to spot the ball is going to walk away with a Hisense smartphone. We'll tell you more about that a little bit later, but you have to download the app. That's the only place where the competition will be drawn. We'll be taking a look at Western Province A against St George's in a second, and then we'll speak to Niaz Johnson of False Bay and Western Province A teams, as well as interviews with Roger Smith and Western Province Rugby's Ruben Riffel. And then we speak to Goodwood's biggest rugby fan. But let's quickly take a look at the picture of Spot the Ball. And we see, Morgie, if you want to give this a go, any idea? Right, well, we first got to get the Spot the Ball competition picture up. There we go. Any idea?
Sure, that's a tough one.
Wow. A1, 2, 3.
C2.
C2. Jono, any idea your side? All right.
C3.
All right, C3. Let's have a quick look at C3 again. Let's see there. C3. All righty then. Okay, well, the answer is
A1.
A1, maybe. It could be. Anyway, I can't tell you what the answer is. You've got to go download the Cape Rugby TV app.
Can I win?
Yeah, you can. Have you read the terms and conditions?
Panel members may not.
There we go, Morgs. I've got to go through this with you every single week. I've got to explain to you
All I
that you
want is
cannot.
a TV. I always see this. I want a TV or a phone.
Let's go and check out now.
Wilson,
Western Province A against St George's. Welcome back, everybody. Cape Rugby TV. Right, remember, still coming up, we'll take a look at some of the events coming up over the next couple of weeks. The Colby Sevens, and there's, of course, Tag Rugby coming up as well. And then Hamadias will be launching their Cape Town 10s next year, or at least not the Cape Town 10s, but the community 10s. We managed to speak to Ruben Riffel, of course, Western Province Rugby Exco member. He was at the Western Province Rugby Score Sevens. Ruben Riffel. Right, folks, we're here at the Goodwood Rugby Football Grounds, where it's the final day of the Western Province Score Club Rugby Sevens tournament. With me is Western Province Rugby Exco member Ruben Riffel. Ruben, nice day today. 2 Dream Team sides, 2 Western Province sides, and St George's. What more could you ask for?
JP, what an excellent day. What an excellent exhibition of Sevens Rugby. Especially the 2 Dream Teams. I'm not talking about the Western Province teams, because they got together long before the Dream Teams, and the amount of talent that I saw today, without the pressure of winning a cup, you could see that the guys were enjoying themselves today.
We did some numbers, we added it up together. If you took the Western Province sides, A and B side, or if you want to call them A and B, and if you then add up the guys, the different clubs in the dream teams, there was more than 22 different clubs being represented. I mean, isn't that quite fantastic for these players who sometimes during the league structures, they don't get to play against each other. Over the last few weeks, they've been playing against each other for the first time, but now they're actually playing together in a team.
Yes, JP, and that's what we call creating opportunities at Western Province. This is one of the ways that we can uplift the normal club player to play with his peers or the guys who have the same ability as him. And with the amateur competitions being cancelled, this is the way that we at Western Province can put the club player on a pedestal.
Ruben, thanks very much. Nice to see someone from Western Province Rugby here. We did see Peter Jooster and some of the other EXCO members, but great to always have one of the leadership here.
Thank you, JP. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. Cape Rugby TV, right? If you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, all right, we mentioned it earlier on. Just all I need to just.
James, I must say this does taste very good. Eh?
Did you?
I've just cracked mine now too,
it?
and I'm really enjoying this actually.
Well, I because it's late at night.
China's watching his weight, and I think he's not impressed with his high caffeine content here at this time of the night.
Oh,
and he's getting
so
old
refreshing
now,
though. Right, you want to win yourself a case of Score 33090. SMS the word SCORE to 33090. And you win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, possibly. Congratulations to last week's winner, Eddie Titus. Eddie walks away with a case of Score energy drinks, and I think Eddie was one of our previous callers on the show. Called in, if I remember correctly, from Tableview or Milnerton. Eddie, so congratulations. One of the guys will be in touch with you. You win that case of Score. Now, if you can't remember the short code, then all you need to do is download the Cape Rugby TV mobile app. It's very simple. You open the app, and on the front page of the app, it says, if you just scroll down, there you go. You see, you just scroll on the app there, and you look for the button that says SMS. You click on that, and it says tap to SMS, and of course, just send the word SCORE right there to that number on.
You can't win it, James. You're a panel member. You can't win it.
No, I can't. I can't win it. But I've got my score, so it's all right. Right, folks, we're going to take an ad break, and when we come back from the break, we're going to introduce you to one of the biggest rugby fans from a club. Every club has that fan, that one fan that gives everything to a club, and I think those are the kind of folks that we look for to showcase. And in fact, we need to do it a little bit more. Is showcase the people who are the life and pulse of the club itself. And of course, they're there all the time. They're the first to arrive and the last to leave. But we'll talk to Goodwood's biggest rugby fan after the break. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's getting tight now. Let's go straight into the next game that we wanted to highlight. Western Province A side against St. George's. After that, we'll speak to Niaz Johnson from False Bay. And then we'll also take a look at Dream Team B up against Western Province A back after this game. Western Province A against St. George's. welcome back everybody. The score, Western Province Club Rugby 7's just kept on rolling and rolling, and as I mentioned earlier on, we will speak to the biggest fan at Goodwood, Donnie LaRue, but we'll catch up with him in a second. Of course, Score being the primary sponsor to the Western Province Club Rugby 7's, were all hands on a deck, from the flags to the gazebos to the Bashu's Kiddies Zone. John is cracking it open.
I thought I'd just try some, man.
There we go. And there we go. Thoughts?
Yeah, not too bad.
Not too bad. There we go. Score. There we go. Score energy drinks. Of course, you can see the jerseys behind. John just scored. Yeah, they were all over. Probably the only tournament that I've ever seen that every team that played and every player that played was given a jersey, a set of jerseys amongst the 44 teams, including, and this surprised me even more, the dream teams themselves then arrived with Score Western Province Club Rugby Dream Team jerseys. We managed to speak to Dean Terbus from Score on the day. We took him a little bit by surprise, but nevertheless, we caught him in the gears. Folks, I'm here with, this is Dean from Score. We're going to bring him and drag him in here. Dean, we have to always drag you in front of the banners here. Look like we've got, what do we got here? Some samosas?
Some great samosas made from our local stand over there.
Looks like it's great. And you got your shades on because it's very bright. No, I'm not going to have one right now. You got your Score 7's cap on, and you guys are looking very fantastic. It's been great Score branding for the last couple of weeks. Everything's looking good. Looks like you guys are having a jaw.
Yeah, we really had a great time over the last 6 weeks. It's really, the winner has been rugby and the guys coming out from their communities to come and play. And yeah, thank you to you guys for coming and showing everyone what we've actually been up to.
Well, everyone's having so much fun here behind the scenes. Yeah. Everybody enjoying their Score energy drinks?
Yeah, of course. I just don't know if they're going to sleep tonight, but glad to have everyone here drinking it.
All right, Dean, thanks for that. We're going to catch up with you later.
Thanks, JP. Have a good day. Cheers, guys.
Right, mense, saam met my nou is Donnie LaRue. Elke jaar as ek Goodwood toe kom, dan is Donnie hierso. Hy's al lank hierso. Donnie, jy's seker Goodwood se grootste supporter.
Ja, ek is groot supporter. Ek hou van Goodwood. Dis ek doodgaan, dis aan my begawe en dis my klub hierdie.
En jy bly in die area en jy kom hierso en jy help aanhoudend uit. Jy help met alles. Jy's die eerste een hierso en die laaste om te gaan.
Ja, ek bly net nie ver van die klub af, ek bly naby en ek is alles kyk alles klaar is en dan ek se laaste wat jy uitgaan en kyk alles reg is.
Lekker klub, die mense lyk my hulle geniet hulle self hierso, né?
Ja, die mense gelyk hulle is hulle gelyk my ook.
Hulle like jou ook. Daniel, ons was om daar so, is 'n plesier elke keer as ek kom om jou te sien. Jy het altyd 'n groot smile op jou.
Dankie, JP.
Dis lekker. Welcome back, everybody. Right, every club has that one fan that does it. Hammies, Morgs, you guys got that one fan that's always there, first to arrive, last to leave?
Without a doubt, Japes. There are plenty of names that come to
Give us
mind.
one name.
I think Fatima's probably.
Fatima. All right, John, on your side.
We have many, but Bob Faber's name comes to mind.
Bob Faber. So Fatima at Hammies and Bob Faber at False Bay, right? False Bay. Yeah, we're just checking. Listen, quickly, before we managed to speak to Clement Trout as well. But before we do that, let's quickly just tell you about the Colby Sevens that's coming up this coming Saturday. Right, so it's this coming Saturday. It's the Colby Sevens. It starts 16 teams. Entry fee for adults is 15 Rand. 10 Rand for vehicles, pensioners and kids and under 12 free. The gates open at 8 a.m. and the kickoff is at 9 a.m. Live entertainment by Vuvu Kumalo. There'll be a music, DJs. The teams that are playing: Brackenfell, Newton, Scottsdene, Cape Maoris, Hands and Hearts, Hillcrest, Spartans, Blue Stars, Kales River, Morning Stars, Eagles, Living Legends, Kraaifontein Collegians and Rebels. All right, then on the 2nd of December, Cheslin Colby from that neck of the woods, from Scottsville, Scottsdene area. Scottsville. Cheslin Colby comes from that area and he's looking to push back into the community. So folks, come out and support wherever you can. And then of course it's the Rockets Tag Rugby. That's on the 2nd of December. 8 players per team, including 2 girls. Entry per team is 200 Rand. 10 Rand per car, and there's many spot prizes, all right? And that's at Accordion Park, of course, home ground to Belhar. Right, we managed to speak to Clement Trout. We've got 30 seconds to speak to Clement Trout, and then we've got to speak to Jono about the Gold Cup. Right, folks, with me now is Clement Trout, UWC's rugby coach, but today, Dream Team rugby coach. Clement, Dis nou derde jaar van die, né? Lekker sportsarbeiter.
Lovely, fantastic. Always good being on the park, watching some rugby, club rugby especially. So yeah.
Nou, jy het nou een van die Dream Team spanne gecoach. A little bit tricky. First time, you get everybody together. You've never played together before, but it's a different experience.
Fortunately, JP had an opportunity last year to coach the Dream Team B. So this year they gave me an opportunity at the Dream Team A, and I'm humbled for it. So wasn't exactly new territory, so I kind of knew how to find my feet out of my comfort zone from UWC, but it was just an absolute joy to be here. You know.
What do you say to those guys that have never played together before? They like get you and they go, oh, who's Jay?
Look, my message was simple, you know, this is what it's all about, meeting new people, and at the end of the day, rugby is the winner, so you meet new friends, for me personally, I met new people, new ideas, and it's moments in your life that you treasure, that you take forward, so yeah. I told them, enjoy yourself, have a ball, and because you never know where you're going to be tomorrow, so it's just an opportunity just to enjoy yourself. You know?
And we've got some serious talent here. I mean, some of these guys have got a lot of gas. Their stepping is just unbelievable.
Fantastic. JP, I think this is the 4th year of Club Sevens Rugby. Yeah,
it's our third one now,
yeah, third one you were involved. I remember I was a player in the first one, and it's just grown unbelievably, you know. And a big shout out to Score and to yourself for endorsing this tournament. And I think we only go from strength to strength. The skill and the talent, it's unbelievable.
Well, we'll keep going from strength to strength as long as we have good guys like you supporting the process. So we'll be behind you, and hopefully you'll keep in the mix.
Thanks very much, AP, and thanks to everybody for supporting it.
Okay.
Cheers. All right.
Right, folks, back after the break. Oh, welcome back, everybody. Right, John van der Walt, we've got to just say to you, congratulations on winning the Gold Cup. We haven't had a chance to speak to you. We haven't had a chance to congratulate you. Really, it's fantastic stuff that you've done. It's been hard work all the way through the season. You guys had a great league. It's been the last couple of years. False Bay just getting stronger and stronger. You made it into the Gold Cup. All I can say is congratulations.
Cheers, Japes. Again, thank you very much, and thanks to everyone in the Western Cape for all the support. We had a lot of people in the final. There were almost 5,000 people that came down to watch us. The tournament was great from start to finish with everyone involved. It was good to see Tygerberg go very far into the tournament as well, and nice to have another Western Cape team in there as well. And yeah, we had two home games, 2 away games, a very tough game against Rovers that went down to a nail biter. We managed to get a kick in the last in the 81st minute to ensure that we had a home quarter-final and then a home semi-final, and then thank goodness we managed to knock off Impala at home. Where we got a red card and we had to play with 14 men for about 65 minutes of the game. Managed to pull through there with huge character, and then we had to face Rovers again in a massive final, which I just believe that we were the better team on the day. And
we've got a little bit of time. In fact, we've got almost no time left. I've just got to say, it also looked your media campaigns are working. Graham Knoop, otherwise known as Snoopy, one of our favourite characters on Friends to the show. Louis Duval. Kevin Leonard, you've got a really, really great team of guys behind you at the Bay.
Yeah, again, from Bay TV to our social media to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the guys really get our brand and our name out there. And again, credit to everyone involved there.
And you've got a new sponsor there, Daisy Communications.
We have many sponsors.
No, but that's the only one we're talking about right now.
Daisy. Well, I mean, what do they do really? What do they do? Nobody really knows what they do.
No one really knows what Daisy does. All right. Morgie, thanks for coming up and joining us on Cape Rugby TV.
Always good to be here, Japes.
And I know that we can catch you on Good Hope FM mornings, Saturday mornings?
Yeah, weekend mornings, 7 to 9, or 6 to 9, and then sometimes during the weekend too, with Nigel.
And Jono, you'll be at CrossFit False Bay tomorrow morning at 6.
Yes, and every Monday. From 7 to 12
I was actually joking. I didn't think you'd actually be there tomorrow morning. Right, folks, that's a wrap from Cape Rugby TV. Have yourself a fantastic rugby weekend. We will see you at Aikendal, Hands and Hearts Rugby Field, where it's the Colby Sevens this coming weekend. Bye-bye.